Eagles fans, welcome back to another episode of Eagle Watch, brought to you by our friends at Pizza Ranch. And this last snowy weekend, the Eagles delivered a gritty playoff performance on the road, earning a 9-7 victory over Hope College in Michigan to advance to the third round of the NCAA Division III Championships. It was a defensive battle, a special teams showcase, and a true testament on why this team is so tough. And Coach Janice is here with me once again to break down how the Eagles pulled out this win, highlight some key performances on both sides of the ball, and preview a massive showdown this weekend, a rematch with top-ranked North Central, one of the powerhouse programs in Division III. So Coach Matt Janice, congratulations on this win. Here we are in December playing football now. We just talked about playing football in November a few weeks ago. Here we are. It's cold. It's snowy, just like this last weekend. You guys were doing snow angels at the end of the game. Walk us through, 9-7 victory. That's defensive. That's gritty. That's playoff football.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, told the guys before the game, I'm like, how cool is this, right? I think from the second you can pick up a football, right? And growing up in the Midwest, anytime it snows as a kid, you would go out and make diving catches in the snow, tackle in the snow, right? And so our kids got to kind of live that dream throughout that game. And then we got to halftime. I told them at halftime, I'm like, man, they write movies about this stuff, right? You got a great opponent. You're in a playoff game with them. Everything's on the line. It's neck and neck, and it's snowing out. That's like a movie in itself, right? But no, like you said it. I just thought our kids did just such a good job. And obviously, there's a whole list of things. From our travel. Our travel was Friday night or Thursday night was really long. We got stuck in a snowstorm on the way there, and then dealing with the hotel, and then all the elements. Being on the road and dealing with the elements of the snow and the cold. Thought our kids did a great job handling that. We did a great job preparing them and practicing in cold weather. And then on Friday we had a really good practice on a really snow-covered field so that we could get used to the footing of the field and how we were going to be able to move defensively if we had to adjust. I think our coaches did a great job kind of adjusting some of our game plan on Friday as we if the conditions are like this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to trim out this section of the game plan. We're going to have to add this. We're going to have to play a little bit more zone on defense because we don't want to go man-to-man if the footing's bad. And so our coaches did a good job with that. And then obviously as the game went on, that game was exactly what I thought. I mean, as we talked about last week, Hope was, in my opinion, a top 15 football program. I thought they did some tremendous things on defense. I thought they had some really good defensive line games, ET games that kind of affected our run game. And then I thought, even though the score was low, they were doing some really good things in their run game and then some of their passing concepts. And so it was really just what we thought. It was going to be back and forth. And then you add the elements into it where footing's hard and, special teams was going to play a huge role and field position was going to play a huge role, but our kids we were able to get a lead and then just hang on to it just enough. And so credit to our guys for sticking with it. And like we talk about all the time as a football program, just do what's demanded to win. We don't care as a football program about stats. I couldn't even tell you. And I know there's people that look at them. I know there's coach. I don't know what our rushing stats are. I don't know what our passing defense is. I don't look at that stuff. All I care about is that we won the football game, and that's the philosophy that we preach. And so, hey, on offense, we needed 9 points. Really, we needed 8, but we got 9, right? Yeah. We needed that. And then defense, we had to hold them under that. And then special teams had to add all that into the mix. And so, and that's what we got. And eventually, those all came together. We were able to get a stop on the last drive. And then here we are. And now on to round 3.
Yeah, early on, you can kind of tell whoever scores twice might win this game.
Pretty much,
and that's
right?
kind of what happened. You've coached a while. Have you ever coached a game in these conditions with the stakes on the line?
No, I have never. So at UW Lacrosse, We've never played in a snow game. We have played in some miserably cold games, but never a snow game. I haven't coached in one since 2016, and it was a blizzard in the second half.
Okay.
So it's been a long time since we've had that. So it was really cool. And like I said, great job by our guys. And you said field position was going to matter. Ethan Tranel, our punt team, did a fantastic job, especially early on in that game of keeping us in that and switching the field and doing all that. And then we did, we get a field goal as well and that stuff. So great job on special teams with our group as well.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the offense. It finally broke through in the third quarter with a 65 5-yard drive capped off by Gabe Lynch's touchdown run. What did you like most about that drive? Obviously, it all came together in the third.
Yeah, we felt like we had it. They just kind of kept catching it with a run game with some of their ET stunts. So I think we knew we had the right thing. I think it was, for our offense, it was tough at times because it is hard. Like, you could see there was some tentativeness with footing, right? Like if I burst off this, and same thing from the offensive line to our receivers. So there's a little, tentativeness with the footing, and I think they got more confident as the game went on. But I thought we made some huge catches. Keaton Arndt, like on that drive, huge catch. Cal Miles has a huge catch on a conversion, so able to move the sticks there. And then I just thought our backs did a good job adjusting as the game went on. And I think Gabe had a few where he wanted to kind of bounce them, and then he's like, nope, I know to just stick it here. And you could it's like almost watching it one run. I watch in slow motion, I'm like, oh, don't bounce, and he just stick your foot in the ground and go. And then be able to use the Wildcat package a little bit with both Braden and Gabe on the field with that to kind of add an extra hat in the box, and just able to move the chains. And like I said, I thought we had some of that going earlier. We just kind of shot ourselves in the foot at time, but then able to capitalize and finish that. That was huge.
Definitely. We play football, and punting usually is frustrating. You want to keep your offense on the field, but there's a lot of punts in this game. Falling back on your defense, you guys were confident in the D, right? So, talk a little bit about that, where it's like this is a defensive battle. Like, we're going to be punting a lot. It's normal, but like, it's a balance, Yeah,
it's like when you play good teams, right? And that's going to continue to have to come to the forefront. Like, we're going to have to punt on Saturday. We're probably going to have to punt a couple different times, right? And so, like, that's such a big thing. One, when you have the weapon, but then being able to change the field position in the bad elements and be able to turn it over and say, okay, defense, like, now you get a stop and let's try to play this, make this a field position game. Let's try to get a stop and let's try to get 3 downs and an out. So they got to punt it into the wind. And obviously, I think for probably both sides, like when the hardest job, and I know we talk about Ethan Tranel so much, the hardest job when those elements are going like that and the ball's cold and the laces maybe covered with snow a little bit is for a long snapper. And I think Ben Walsh did an absolutely fantastic job. He is. I do feel that. He's one of the best in the business. I keep telling him that. He is at our level. He's done a great job for us. Has had a wonderful career for us as a long snapper. I think it's been 3 straight years of Ben here. And for Ben to come out and have that kind of game in the elements, and especially when you got to sit and your hands get cold and you got to kind of keep, those guys did such a great job, and led by Coach Larson, our specialist coach, did such a great job of preparing themselves, making sure they're ready, and then on top of it, then executing their assignment and being able to put it in the hands a little bit of times for our defense.
Definitely. So with this win, the Eagles advanced to the 3rd round for the 2nd time in 3 seasons. What does that mean to you, to the program, to the guys out on the field?
Yeah, I haven't thought about that too much. I didn't know that. I think, and we walked out on the practice field yesterday, and I told them all this. I said, hey guys, you all got to look up at Granddad's Bluff. I made them. I'm like, you got to look up, because I think it's really cool is that this team has now seen 3 seasons change at Granddad's Bluff, right? If you look out onto the bluffs, you've seen 3 different seasons change, right? When they got here in August, it was green, it was summer, and then they got to see all the leaves turn, right, on it, and then now as we go out to practice on a Monday, it's now snow covered. How cool is that? How special is that group got to see kind of the changing of 3 seasons here as we go? So it's really special. Got a really good opponent coming up here, and we're just excited, and our guys keep chipping away, and now it's, it feels like we're back on the road here. We actually, I don't know if a lot of people knew this, we got stuck in Michigan, so we didn't come home on Saturday night. Like the plan was to come home Saturday. But we had to stay Saturday, so our kids, I think they just had a blast. We had to stay at a hotel. I think our guys had an absolute blast. I had to yell at them. I had to be a bad guy once because they were just jumping in the pool. Like the whole team was jumping in the pool trying to knock all the water out of it. But I think they had fun. So our guys have been handling travel really well, because now it's like we're here in La Crosse for like a couple more days, and then we're back out on the road on Thursday night. And I kind of explained it to them. That's how it's going to go from here on out. It's going to be in and out. But no, it's really cool to be in the 3rd round, and really exciting. And we're excited for it.
Let's talk a little about the matchup here. So, unlike Hope, you've played these guys before, in the past. Yeah. What's the game plan looking like? I know it's early.
Yeah, obviously, with North Central and what Brad's done there, their head coach, I mean, that is the standard of Division III football. And I think that track record has proven itself. Obviously, a really strong, great program from top to bottom, all three phases. I think they have an amazing coaching staff. I think they're obviously surrounded by really good players. I think, especially with this team and looking at the 2025 North Central football team, I think this is a group that's built in the trenches. I think they're really good up front on the offensive line, and then I think you turn around and you look at their defensive line and they're really good. And 92 is a special player up front that we have to figure out a way to account for him and be strong on and make sure that he's covered, and probably have to run away from him and try to cut him off in some of the run game there. But he is a phenomenal defensive player. I think they have a really good offense. Obviously, I think centers around a couple different guys. I mean, their run game, they are going to want to establish the run game on us without a doubt. But their receiver number 7, the receiving core in general is really good. But 7 is a really special player. I think he's the player of the year in that conference, and it shows as you watch the tape. I mean, he had a catch against Hanover that he stops on the far side and completely pivots around. A guy falls up tack, pivots around and goes all the way around the other side. So he's a really special player. But again, as you get into, like you said, round 3, there's only great teams left at this time. And obviously, in order to advance, in order to get to Canton, in order to win a national title, this is the team that you have to be able to beat. And so we have to play really good in all 3 phases. Field position is going to matter. We have to take care of all those little cliches that you say around football. You got to take care of the football. You got to find a way to force turnover. You got to play field position. Then everybody goes duh, we know, coach, we know. But like that, when you play guys like this and a team of this caliber, that is so true.
It's the little things.
Yeah, you can't be out of a gap as a defensive lineman. Because if you are, they'll score a touchdown on it, right? And so you have to be so sound in what you're doing. You have to play with great technique, and then responsibility and your assignment, that is so vital in games like this.
Yeah, there's minimal room for
error. There's no.
Yeah.
Not with these guys. There's not. There's just not. And but like I said, I think this is a battle-tested team, and I think it's crazy. We thought about this the other day. This is our 8th top 25 opponent, and now we're seeing the number 1 team in the country, right? So we've kind of seen the whole group, and in a course of 11 games, 8 of our games have been ranked opponents, and now this is the best one that we'll see.
Yeah. We talked about last week how the weather could change a whole game plan. Mm-hmm. Have you checked the radar at all? I don't think it's supposed to be as snowy.
I think it's I mean, I've been so in tune to the weather this year.
Yeah.
And I feel I don't know. I got to get a better app. I've tried. Sometimes my staff were conflicting weather reports here as we go. It'll change again, and then but we do without a doubt. Like I said, with last week, it was the snow coming in, how we were going to handle that, the footing. We made sure we got lucky enough to practice at Calvin University, right in Grand Rapids, and the snow wasn't plowed, so we got a whole practice in with being able to have the field's covered. What can we do? What can we run? How do we have to change things and get our guys? Do we have to cut off defensive line movement because they can't stick their foot in the ground? And so we got a good practice with that, and we'll do the same thing. And I think we do a really good job before the game with our specialists of trying to figure out, hey, this is where we want to be. This is our max distance because of the wind. And so, without a doubt, I think it's 29 degrees. I think it's going to be pretty good. I think the wind is going to be fairly limited right now. I mean, now I could turn it up today, and it could be completely different. But yes, without a doubt, do we look at the weather? Do we take some of that stuff into account? But I do not think we'll have what we had last week. And I think really they had, we had a snow game, right? And it was really cool, but ours was manageable. The game that they played in, it is the amount of snow that they had to play through, and that field was there was 3. It looks like there was 3 or 4 inches. They had shovel, you can see it on film, trying to shovel the sidelines and the hashes, the whole game. They played in like a blizzard. Yeah. We were just in we had some snow going, covering the field a little bit, but it wasn't anything to the caliber that they played in.
It's exciting. It's Midwest football. I love it. So it was funny. I had the broadcast on the big TV with the family, and they brought up Eagles fans. They literally did. They said there's a lot of Eagles fans here today. So your message, it's delivered to the Eagles fans. They obviously know the standards, the travel. What's it? I mean, you're going to travel again.
Oh yeah.
What's the message to the Eagles fans?
No, it's awesome. I like the first one last week was more of just get there safely.
Right. Yeah.
Don't stay there. I know we had some guys drove it. I know. I think Gabe told me his dad drove it home on Saturday night and got home okay. But first thing first is travel. But I think this one being at North Central a little closer now.
Sure.
4-hour trip, maybe even closer to some of our Milwaukee area, Madison area. We got some kids from Chicagoland, so kind of a little bit closer. But obviously it's just such a it's not even like an energy builder anymore for me. It's just so rewarding to see some of the family, some of the fans, and you kind of just see the same faces on game day. You see how much you see the parents, they were able to let them kind of come on the field after the game, and you see how much it meant to them to be around their kid and to celebrate that moment with them. Like that's just special to see, and it's just fun to have that type of fan base, that type of group that is connected. I think what's really cool with college athletics sometimes is you go through, right, you bring all these guys, right, you recruit them, they show up as freshmen. They don't know anybody, right?
Yeah.
And you watch them grow within your program, right? You watch them grow and you get to see them. Then you see them by the time they're seniors and how tight they are, and how the family. But I think in a lot of things too, and I know this within this program, is that I feel like our parents kind of go through the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And like that they go through. Okay, they kind of show up. They don't really know anybody, and they get kind of brought into this culture of our tailgating, the culture of our parents, and they get to go through that together. And I know there's parents that even to this day, I know Mark and Lisa Dixon were hanging out with a couple different parents from a couple years ago, right? And so our parents get to kind of experience that, and they get to go to all these different places. I mean, you think about like where our parents have traveled to just in this year, let alone their entire son's career, right? And so that's a group that becomes close-knit. They become friends, and so it's kind of cool to just have that whole thing going, and then obviously to see them at the game is pretty cool.
Football's magical, man.
It is.
It brings so much together, and it is family. So the Eagles improved to 8-2 and continue their postseason run to face North Central this Saturday in Illinois. It's about 4 hours away, so drive safe if you guys are driving there. That's going to do it for this episode of Eagle Watch. Coach Janis, any final messages to the Eagles fans?
Well, they know it. Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Love it.
Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way. Dive into our buffet featuring a variety of legendary pizzas, crispy fried chicken, and classic American sides. And don't miss out on the excitement of our Fun Zone arcade. Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.